Hi, welcome to a demonstration of opposing viewpoints. I'm Rhonda Kitchens, your librarian. I'm glad you're reviewing this webinar. Know also that I'm available to you in person. I would be glad to meet you in Zoom, email, or help you out with any issue you may be having. I use opposing viewpoints. Well, firstly, a lot of you will be assigned specifically to use opposing viewpoints, and that's the number one reason to go there immediately. Use the resources that your instructor and professors tell you to use. Number one, do not go to Google. Do not do the thing that you usually do. If your assignment calls for you to use opposing viewpoints, use opposing viewpoints. Two, it is hand curated. That means unlike other databases where there's all sorts of things that you could go into that you can find, newspapers, publications, all this, opposing viewpoints is hand curated. That means somebody went through, read the articles, put them in there. They looked at the stats, put them in there. They looked at the primary sources, put them in the database. It is primarily full text. What you see is what you get. It has an easy to use citation section as well. And if you get an assignment that's stacked up, like say, they want you to use a scholarly article, a newspaper, or just a regular magazine article, primary sources, this is built for your ultimate success. Further, this is produced by a company called Gale. You're like, what does that mean to me? Well, think about Netflix or Amazon Prime. Gale has a certain thing that it does really well, and it builds these hand-curated databases. And if you know opposing viewpoints, you get global issues, you get biography, you'll understand science in context. Science in context is a great beginning science research platform because you have references, scholarly articles, secondary resources, statistics. It's beautiful. Student resources, U.S. history, moral history, and context. Once you know how to do opposing viewpoints, you also have a good idea how to manage the rest. While I'd much prefer that you actually bookmark the library, I'm going to show you the two ways to get in. First, go to bigbend.edu, select academics, and then you click on library. Another key place the library link is inside a Canvas on the left-hand side, right here, library. And this is your library page. Over here is a button. If you sort of stall on the page, it comes out, but you can also bring it out. This is 24 hours. Give us your name, give us your email, let us know what you're looking for, and we will help you out in real time. And if for some reason we miss you, we'll get back to you via email. So make sure to fill it all out. Next, you're going to go to databases A to Z. That is an alphabetic listing, say aerospace to zoology, but in that case it's academic one file to WorldCat. We're going to opposing viewpoints. You have an option of typing opposing right here. This is a title search for databases, but O is a good way to go, though sometimes people think it's A, but it is O for opposing viewpoint, and now we're in. What's not going to show on my screen is you're going to be asked to log in. What's going to pop up is a little gray box. That's going to be your email, name, not the bigbend.edu, and it's going to be your email password. In some cases, when you're first using these databases, it'll come up with a warning on some of your browsers. They vary. Some may ask you to press bypass. Some will say, warning, warning. If you really want to go there, use the advanced link and proceed to the site. Some places, like, there's all sorts of different things, but essentially it says, don't go there, but please do go there. The warning is coming up because we use the proxy service. And once you approve it, it pretty much stops that issue. But at the beginning of the semesters, you may run into that a few times. Now, opposing viewpoints has a search and an advanced search. Often I will tell you to use that advanced search, but their search is pretty good. You're going to have topics. This is a great place to come also if you don't know what to write about. Let's look at this over here. I'll drag this around. Here you have 484 different things that you can write about. 484. And these are all packed for your success. You just hear that beep? I hope you did. That was our Ask a Librarian. Somebody needed help. So I stopped, I went in and helped them. It's that fast. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to put in the topic climate change. As I am typing, you see is offering me different ideas. Google does that as well. This is probably a big one to use because global warming and climate change are sometimes used interchangeably, though this is going to describe to you that they may be quite different things and why they are. At the top part of this, the overview is actually, you know, in these when you can't use Wikipedia because of a rubric or directions for your assignment, this will kind of take the place of it, but it's intelligent Wikipedia. It is edited and it is verified. So please use this. Go through it. Find law and legislation, words, why one word means something and another word means another thing. These are great pieces to have in your presentations and in your research. Okay, so again, what's really great about this is it brings a lot of information formats into one place. You have academic articles, biographies, audio, websites, viewpoints, infographics, news, primary sources, images, magazines, reference, video, and statistics. Statistics usually also being primary sources when they're listed as a table all by themselves with no one telling you what they mean. Something they're available for you to interpret through, and they were gathered through original research. Now, this is going to have only like 4 or 5 things listed. This is going to tell you how many more there are. So never think that you're stuck with what's just there available to you. Now, these are academic journals. You may have a call for a peer-reviewed or academic journal or scholarly journal article. This is a great place to come for those. What this is something that's written by people. We know who they are, who they're attached to. Usually we know their bias or what they're involved in or what they've written before. There's a lot of transparency in these. Usually there's different parts. It's going to start out with a thesis. They're going to tell you what they've read to come up with these ideas, what they read that they may be trying to work against, and they'll give you a methodology, how they're going to do their research, and in a perfect world, you would be able to reproduce it. These are beautiful pieces of evidence. And if you want to know more about scholarly articles, we have a whole section on it. You can review. I have an overview of it. And I also do webinars on scholarly articles. But that should give you a taste. So when you come into these, when you click on this, also look how many words it has. Sometimes these can be very brief, though full text. They might be sometimes a paragraph in some cases, like with a news article or some other statements. So you will have it here available to you in full text. It's going to give you some ideas. Hey, look, since you're here, you may also enjoy these articles as well. It'll also give you related subjects. Collect those. Those are very helpful for your research. You can take these and go back up there, put them with other words, but as you can see, they're linked and you can go to things on that topic as well. You can send to Google Drive. You can send to Microsoft. You can email. You can download. You can print. You can also have it play out. Those are not the most beautiful voices, but they are very effective. And up here in the upper right, here we go. You can cite. Let's click on this. In all of the in-text databases, they're going to have a citation offering, and they're usually some of the better that I've seen on the different databases that we use. This is MLA 8th edition, which is the most up-to-date. This is APA 7th. This is Chicago 17th. This will also be present in all of the other databases you use. Science and Context, you may be using APA. If you're working in history, you may be using Chicago. So these are very, very useful. Now, the next thing you do is you copy and correct them. Sometimes the capitalization is off, how they treat an author isn't quite right, or there might be something italicized or something odd about them. In this case, it's the link itself, because APA doesn't want you linking to things you can't get to. But these are subscription databases, so this has no meaning to anyone outside of the college. So make sure you copy and correct the references, but they are available to you. So when you go up here, you can just keep doing other searches. Okay, I am interested in climate change, but I'm really most interested in how it affects wildfires. First, let's see if wildfire we see as singular. Let's kind of look at it. So it may be that by putting the S on there, I made a bad search. So let's try it again. So it's going to let me know I have this many academic journals, some reference and magazine articles. And again, what you see is what you get. So I should be able to get to it. If you need to filter your information, suppose your professor said, I only want things in the past year, past 3 years, you can use this to change your search results. So This is kind of a fast overview, but I really hope it's been helpful for you. Again, if you have any questions, I'd like to ask you to do this one thing. Ask your librarian. This was a really fast, topical, breezy overview, but we could get more in depth. If you're having a struggle finding keywords or putting together a search strategy, reach out and ask, because we'd be glad to help. Have a great day.